Chapter 6b. I'm an excellent swimmer, Brittany protested. We have a pool at home and I swim every day. Well, then you'll be fine here. The sea looks practically as still as a swimming pool this morning. Maddie smiled warmly and laid her knife and fork on her empty plate. But what about sharks and things like that? Brittany asked, lowering her voice a little. We won't go in if there's any sign of sharks, Maddie assured her, and we can ask Cam to keep a shark watch from the deck. Raise you, Jimmy, said Jimmy to Sean. Gina held up a warning hand. We'll meet on the deck in our swimming things in 1 hour, not before. She pressed on over the noisy groans of the twins. Nobody is going to the water before their breakfast has had time to digest. We don't want anybody getting cramps. Jody spent the time updating her diary about the exciting event of the day before. Then she quickly changed into her swimsuit and went up on deck. As she emerged from the hold, Jody heard something that made her heart beat faster. First there was a whistle, then a series of rapid, stuttering clicks and pops, the unmistakable sounds of a dolphin. Apollo! She cried joyfully, rushing to the side where her parents were standing. At the sight of her, Apollo whistled again and leaped into the air. As the spray rained down on her, Jody laughed with delight. How long has it been there? Less than a minute, honestly, her mother replied. I was just going to call you. Can I go swim with him, please? Jody looked hopefully at her mother. At that moment, Sean and Jimmy erupted out of the hold, wearing matching fluorescent orange swimming trunks and goggles, yelling with excitement. Their bare feet slapping on the deck, they launched themselves off the side, knees up, to splash bottoms down like a couple of human cannonballs. Gina winced and sighed. Of course you can. Craig had peeled off his t-shirt. I'd better go and keep an eye on those two. I'll join you in a minute, Gina agreed. She turned to look at the hatchway. Oh, good. Here comes Brittany and Maddie. Jody was too excited about her chance to swim with Apollo to wait another minute. She fitted on her goggles. Then, taking a deep breath, she dived off the side of the boat. After the heat of the sun, the water was cool and welcoming as Jody sliced cleanly into it. It was a different world down here, the world the dolphins knew as home. Underwater, the sounds of her brother's yells were muffled. She saw their pale legs kicking and waving in the dim, greenish water, like the tentacles of some strange creature. She turned her head. And there, only a few inches away, was Apollo. She gazed at her sidelong, out of one eye. Jody ran out of breath and had to shoot back to the surface to breathe again. Apollo poked his beak out of the water, continuing to watch her. This time there was no pounding rain to blur her vision. She saw him more clearly than ever before. For the first time, she noticed the little dimples on his head that marked where his ears would be. Hi there, she said quietly. I'm really glad you came back. She reached out to stroke him, and he let her. His skin felt smooth and finely red beneath her fingertips. She was careful to avoid the blowhole on the top of his head. He dipped below the water and rolled onto his back, letting her stroke his paler belly, almost as if he were a cat or a dog. Hey, that's just like Fluffy used to do, said Jimmy. Jody was startled. She had been so absorbed in Apollo that she hadn't noticed her brothers approaching. Apollo rolled again and disappeared beneath the surface. Taking a deep breath, Jody sank down and went after him. But speed was so natural to the dolphin that he shot away out of sight in an instant. Jody flailed around for a few more seconds, trying to see where he'd gone, then gave up and surfaced again.